Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 3 Remastered The Lost Artifact Expansion. This is 115 speaking, and it seems Lara had a very unfortunate journey with her boat. Interesting, in the original they put it here all crooked and twisted with that Croft engine. In the remasters, yeah, they tried to do the same. I don't know why it just doesn't come across like that. Maybe it's just due to darkness. So, let me officially welcome you to It's a Madhouse, a really nice play to French idiom, but I'll talk more about it later on. In this level, we are gonna get our hands on all 3 secrets, as is the tradition in the Lost Artifact expansion. Perhaps surprisingly, we will already unlock the Codex of France achievement. That's because the following level, which also takes place in France, has no secrets. We are also gonna get our hands on all 49 goodies, we are gonna land 22 kills, and really the other achievement we are gonna unlock is Planet of the Raids. Now I foreshadowed this a little in the previous video, saying that it's probably this expansion's hardest achievement. And it doesn't sound that bad, does it? You know, just kill monkeys before they are able to pick up items. The problem with this achievement is that it's bugged to smithereens. Nevertheless, I found a reliable way to unlock it, and I'm gonna talk more about it as an added bonus towards the end of this video. Please forget that this achievement exists for your 100% playthrough of the level. We are gonna address it at the very end because it's gonna take less than 4 minutes from the very beginning of the level to unlock it if you follow my steps, okay? So for now, let's unburden ourselves of this. There should also be no breakable objects, but I guess we'll see. Now, funnily enough, we have lost the Hand of Rathmore, only to re-pick it up here. I do not know why Lara was careless like this, but there we go. I guess it has something to do with that boat being crashed and all crooked. Who knows what happened? Nevertheless, during her journey, Lara has changed into her catsuit. This is kind of the outfit you were supposed to have in Sleeping with the Fishes level, but we changed it to the wetsuit, and now we are gonna continue in it for the rest of the expansion. It's a bit strange perhaps, as Lara did wear her normal classic outfit on that loading screen, but it is what it is. It is a nighttime and we are gonna break into somewhere, so I guess for nighttime this is an appropriate outfit. Even though it reminds me of London levels, and especially my most disliked level of Tomb Raider 3, Thames Wharf. Okay. And I think if you haven't played this level, you'll be just caught off guard by how beautiful and colorful it is. Now I do have a couple of gripes with the remaster, but first of all, let's just appreciate they turned this into a 3D flower bed. This was clearly a nice cafe as part of the zoo complex. You can look at all sorts of nooks and crannies. There we go. I think this foreshadows the final 3rd secret, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty awesome. We are gonna find ourselves there at the end of the level. Let's keep going and pick up the shotgun shells. Uh-oh, red car turned into another red car and moved down the street. You know, something tells me it was not supposed to leave it behind its counterpart. It's the same thing like the yellow submersible in Sleeping with the Fishes level. It's pretty damn funny. Now, this is never confirmed or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's the bad girl Sophia Lee inside that car that we are sort of chasing after. Okay. Now, that had the consequence of interrupting the music that was playing from the beginning of the level, the Jordi Bob theme, and instead we now hear the sounds of the jungle. How very appropriate. Okay, we're never gonna open this magnificent door, but we should be able to collect 2 boxes of shotgun shells on the side over here, and we'll see a white tiger. This is pretty cool. We haven't seen these guys since Catacombs of Talion and Ice Palace level. Incredibly rare breed, and guess what? We're gonna put them on the extinct species list. To be fair, it's in self-defense. What we are gonna be interested in are the Uzi clips on the other side. Just want to point it out now so that you'll know how much progress we made when we reach that spot. And now guys, have that grenade launcher ready. I think it's the best weapon for this encounter. Wonderful. And I probably should have taken a picture of these guys before we blew them up, but hey, we'll get another opportunity. Something I want to draw your attention to is Salazu Isi. I'm sorry for my pronunciation, I don't speak French at all, but we can see the map of the zoo, and it shows us that the brown spot is the toilets, the red spot the voliere, so the aviary, then the yellow one which I presume is where we are, given all these tables and chairs, is the cafe. And Les Sings, that's gonna be the place where the apes and monkeys are, which is also highlighted by the Planet of the Apes mock-up poster, which is pretty damn hilarious. Then the green is for Le Jungle. Okay, so here we go. We can see a tiger. And the jungle is honestly the part that we'll be exploring next, filled with these guys. And the danger posters, which are actually really adorable. And finally, there's Le Chemin. I guess that's just supposed to mean the road or something like that. Guys, those of you who speak French, please let us know. If you could translate this map for us, I think it would make things a lot cooler. By the way, I do want to travel back into the past. What was it, 6 years ago or so? It was actually going to be 7 years that I tackled these originally. My first ever Patreon, Blangoopel, this was long before I had a Patreon, said that this isn't French idiom, meaning that it's a zoo, which is used to imply that there's a crazy situation, it's a madhouse happening. So this is a really lovely play at words that the developers used to name the level, and it's actually happening in an actual zoo, which is pretty damn funny. So thank you so much for that comment and clarification, and for becoming my first ever Patreon last year. This is awesome. And you know, back then YouTube didn't really have the whole heart system, but that's something I'm gonna fix right now. Okie dokie. Another thing I want to draw your attention to is the Jeanne d'Arc poster, La Première. I don't know if this is a poster to a real movie about Jeanne d'Arc, but it's still pretty damn cool. And actually, Jeanne d'Arc is going to be sort of our holy or saint patron watching over Lara in this level a couple of times. I think we're going to see her 3 different times, but what's really cool is, in case you don't know who Jeanne d'Arc is, she's like a French national hero during... Now, my apologies, this is where my ignorance is going to show, but I'm not sure if it was the 100 Years' War or the 30 Years' War, but essentially England invaded France in medieval ages, and Jeanne d'Arc kind of rallied French troops to push English invaders back, and her ultimate reward for that was being burnt alive at a stake. How awesome. So, this is how the ungrateful bastards treated her for helping their own country, but for me personally, where I have a personal attachment to Jeanne d'Arc was, unsurprisingly, with a video game. There's a Jeanne d'Arc video game, Wars and Warriors. It's like a Dynasty Warriors-like experience, where you control Jeanne d'Arc and some of her other compatriots as you're fighting English invading army. And you get absolutely anime superpowered in that game, and you can also switch into real-time strategy mode. It's a fascinating game, a hybrid. And I remember being interested in it as a kid. I was like, who's this Lara Croft lookalike wearing plate armor and a sword? This looks awesome. So anyway, brief history about how I knew who Jeanne d'Arc is. But imagine my disappointment when I realized in the real world she had no superpowers, other than to be claiming to be in contact with the god, which is a bit fishy to me. But anyway... an absolute badass and a French national hero nevertheless. Okay guys, so we didn't really need to take a look at the map, but on the side over here is where we will enter the place with the monkeys, and this one where we'll enter the place, the aviary with the birds, okay? Now, what we'll need to get our hands on first of all is the key hidden in the bushes over here, and let's just check its design immediately. It's just called the Zoo Key, but this is what's gonna take you to, I guess we could call it the Planet of the Apes, okay? Now, not the aviary, we don't have a key for that, although we'll make up for that via getting 2 aviary keys later on, if you can believe it. Isn't the keyhole upside down? What kind of keyhole is that? They didn't really do a good job there, did they? Oh, one thing I want to show you, and I'm not sure when or if we'll get the opportunity, you know what, let's just continue the level, I'm sure we'll see it again, is another AI upscaling of textures that I'm not particularly keen on. Oh, I think there it is. So, this, in the original, was a beautiful mosaic showing apes, tigers, and birds, right? And look in the remasters, it's all crooked, twisted, AI-generated nonsense. I mean, for as many things as they improve, they really messed a few things up. Now let's take a look here. This is actually gonna be sort of a jungle arena with lots of apes. But let us open up a path to continue. You have another white tiger danger warning for a very good reason. Now guys, if you are interested in unlocking the Planet of the Raids achievement, do not step on this row of tiles in front of the benches, okay? This is very important, because that's gonna already trigger the appearance of monkeys inside the arena, and they're gonna start picking up those small medpacks. Let me show you actually. See? There we go. And Planet of the Raids achievement has therefore failed. Which is fine. We're gonna do a separate run to unlock it, so let's just get those shotgun shells. But it's something to keep in mind for that run. And again, there are a couple of reasons why I don't want to do it as part of this main playthrough. We're on the other side of the cage with the White Tiger and Uzi clips, which is wonderful. And now I would like to light a flare, because in this crawl space amongst thick jungle, we are gonna get our hands on a large medpack. And this is really interesting to me, because the bushes over here look like you should be able to pass through them, but they are in fact an absolutely solid barrier. You cannot, okay? So if you were to reach the other side first, you would just see a large medpack teasing you here, which I find pretty damn funny. Oh, come on, Miss Croft. And over here, there should also be a box of flares, which pleases me as we just used the flare to get here. Awesome. And occasionally you'll get a glimpse of the tigers moving here, but honestly, it's gonna be better to show you once we do get there. Now climb up here and just look at this shot. We see a top of the maze. Absolutely glorious. This is not unlike the maze in Lara's home in Tomb Raider 2 that we're gonna have to navigate, and look, bushes cut in the shape of stars and moons and I guess globes or something like that, which is awesome, and a glimpse of the skybox. It was pretty damn awesome in the original, of course on PC, less pixelated than what we see here. The moon was a bit on the greenish side, but yeah, the skybox is definitely improvement in my books, a coastal town in France. Now, the moment you enter the maze like this, just be careful, because tigers will be on their way. And what I want to do is take a picture. Is this a good shot? Not particularly. Okay, oh, that's much better. I just want to capture the majesty of these things. Awesome. And now, guys, we're gonna blow it up. Of course we are. Whoa! Holy moly! It was two of them in one spot. Goodness gracious, that was terrifying. Okay, we took care of that nicely. Again, grenades are kind of the best weapon for this situation. And now, these guys were actually chasing us deep from this lair over here, you know? I might as well light up a flare. God, I love this theme so much. Reminds me of fighting mutants in the Lost City of Tinos. And finishing our previous adventure. Back when we thought they are only for artifacts. So anywho guys, inside the jungle, we made it deep inside the tiger cage to get these Uzi clips. A good Bloodhound candidate, but that's not what they have in mind for this achievement in this level. It's gonna be Desert Eagle clips, of all things. Now, I'm gonna do something really, really horrible. I'm gonna interrupt this beautiful theme. I'm sorry guys, but a secret is at stakes, and a pretty cool secret at that. But yeah, I wish it would be a way to continue the theme without this interruption. I wish secret chimes would not override music. Oh, the red car! Let's chase it! Miss Croft. It went to the top of the... What? What's going on? How? Oh, a monkey. Yeah, it was definitely after the small medbag over here. But yeah, so the mysterious red car again. We've seen it moving before, now we saw it moving again. It's no longer left a copy at the top of the hill, which is just as well. And if we try to follow it where it went, where we are not getting to the top of the tower, where it did, we're supposed to believe it parked over here, but it is now empty. So Miss Sapphire Lee clearly escaped us by hiding in patisserie and stuffing her face, no doubt. Or is it Café de Flore? You know what? I don't know. I don't care. Now, one of the things that really strikes me weird is the scale of this building. You can tell the windows are supposed to be in the distance. We're not supposed to be this large compared to them. Yeah, it's just a weird artifact. And also, it uses Big Bang clock from London for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure French people would have none of that. But anyway, I'm sure it pleases Lara at least. So guys, another preview of Jeanne d'Arc statue from another side of this grate, teasing us. And my god, this place. It was absolutely stunning, gorgeous in the original, and it still is today. Actually, the remasters added a bit of physical geometry there, which I really appreciate, but don't worry, we're gonna get much closer for me to allow you to take a look at it. And this is a great comparison, I think, but the reason we got this camera shot is enemies. Now, what on earth did we just kill? Don't worry, guys, again, we're gonna get down there as part of the third secret, and I'm gonna show you from much up close what is it we're dealing with. But think of the Nagas or Auras, as they're, I guess, officially called, from South Pacific. But something much more darker and twisted. Oh, and by the way, do not forget, there are going to be, I think, overall 3 Jeanne d'Arc statues, and to an extent they are all connected. And come on, we just have to take a picture of this. This is phenomenal. There she is, a heroine, but still being burned alive at stake. This is her reward for saving an entire country. It's a really sad story. But yeah, she was a threat to the King of France's throne, because she was so popular by the common folk. So, they essentially added the flames, the plate armor, face, and a sword raised up high. You know, being proud even in death. In the originals, she absolutely had Lara's shape and head, with just some armor-looking textures applied. Imagine Jeanne d'Arc being a selectable outfit. Wouldn't that be awesome? Anywho, this statue, this monument, hides a secret. And there we go. We have just opened a trapdoor next to another Jeanne d'Arc statue that we could see through that grate next to the fake Big Ben, if that makes sense. And that should be, I believe, secret number 3. See that one? And I think we saw it from this side. Oh yeah. But getting here is gonna be the real challenge. But it's sort of half the secret mechanism. Now let's get out of here. And back into the maze. We have not wrapped up things there, we just need to find our way to continue. And there's one more tiger I would very much like to finish off. Whether we'll be successful or how we'll be successful is anyone's guess. But this one is purely optional, you don't need to summon it at all, but you can. And if you decide to, then step here. And that's it, it will come to you. And now it tries to run away, because it can't get here. And that's it. I don't think we ever killed a tiger with Uzis. There's something cathartic about these guys, you know? I have too many childhood memories of these guys terrorizing me back in the jungle level that I couldn't beat for the longest time. Okay, I prefer to do jump over this pit. It's gonna be a practice for our Planet of the Raids run. But now essentially, what you'll want to do eventually when you'll tackle the achievement is prevent these monkeys from collecting either the key over here. Ooh, beautiful aviary symbol, that's pretty cool. Or the small medpack over there. Remember, small medpacks and keys are the only items monkeys can pick up. Same gist as in jungle, okay? Now MP5 might seem like the perfect solution for this problem, to not let them touch it, but honestly, if they just touch the tile the item is on, you have probably failed the achievement. Again, for this playthrough, that's fine, but I'm gonna talk more about it when we'll tackle the achievement as a bonus at the end of the video. So let's pick all these goodies up. And now guys, what if I was to tell you that in this monkey arena, there are in fact 5 grenade pickups? I'm probably gonna start with this isolated pool. And I say isolated because this is not connected at all to the rest of the water in this area, okay? So I'm gonna do this, and you know what? I'm gonna go into the water and collect the rest of them. So, there should be one inside the tunnel over here. Not sure if lighting a flare is necessary, but there we go. So this is the second one. Then, in this corner over here, you'll need to swim up a little. This is the third one. And then literally on the opposite side, there should be the fourth one. Wonderful. And for the fifth one, we are actually gonna have to make a slightly tricky jump, which is an interesting challenge. So, let's do it. You know, we only got the grenade launcher as part of the third and final secret of sleeping with the fishes. And they're just drip feeding us the grenades all the time in the next level, which is kind of awesome. Okay, and yeah, I don't think that's a jump we can make, so let's just go for a dip and immediately climb up here. And I guess this is the most efficient way to collect all those grenades. Honestly, guys, you can have your own order. There is another pool here that's connected via the tunnel we've been, but there's absolutely nothing here. But I guess it's a fun treasure hunt. That was the idea behind it. Imagine, you know, having a huge cage for monkeys and letting them play with grenades for fun and entertainment. This zoo is absolutely insane. Now, you might have heard a sound, and that was the tiger we just sniped from here, okay? You would otherwise be at a risk of the tiger pushing you into a pit of spikes, but yeah. Make sure to release the control key in time, and you will fall here, not on the spikes, which is a neat shorty cut. And over here there are hidden Uzi clips. Furthermore, there is another hidey hole with flares, and there's another hidey hole in which you can find small medpacks, but it kinda depends. I'll talk more about it when we reach that spot. But you know what this entire place reminds me of? It's the Kingdom level of the Golden Mask expansion. You know, with the huge ladder climbs, the tree branches, flare boxes, and the Sasquatches or Bigfoots being at the very top of the tree. This is exactly what it reminds me of. I mean, odds are, in case you guys are watching the Lost Artifact expansion playthrough, you also watched or played the Golden Mask expansion, so hopefully you know what I'm talking about. And there are the flares. Now for this one we need to be aligned perfectly. Let's risk it. Yes, awesome. No need to even climb and grab. Let's go back. Not on the spikes, please, Miss Croft. Oh yeah, and this is an important place I want to show you guys. Depending on what you did, how you played, you might find one or even two small medpacks here. That's actually what happened in my original 2018 Let's Play. And they were sort of put there almost in a cross-like shape, which was pretty damn interesting. Now, in this case, I don't think that happens because all the gates to the monkeys are closed, but if they were open, the monkeys could hide away the small medpacks they would have picked up there, okay? There they are, frolicking around. We're gonna crash the party, unfortunately, real soon, but we're after all the kills, of course. Oh, by the way, I need to take a picture of a monkey, and there it is, almost on a pedestal. You know what? I'm gonna let it pick up the small medpack. Yes, that's the picture I want. With the backdrop of the French town in the distance, pretty awesome. Actually brighter in the original graphics, now that I didn't expect. So it doesn't matter... Oh my god, Lara, what was that? It attacks with a... Wow! It actually attacks with a medpack in its mouth. I had no idea. But yeah, Lara, your aim was absolutely horrendous. So, we got our prize, and now I want to draw your attention to this level's second secret, which is absolutely stupid. How on earth is anyone supposed to figure this out? I have no idea. See this grate here? It's not even a dynamic object, which would hint, you know, the kind of objects or doors that you can run into. No, this is a solid one. But it's gonna disappear. And I'm gonna try and pinpoint the exact timing where. Let's see. So we are gonna zipline into the monkey arena. I think the moment we already touch the zipline, it's already disappearing, or do we have to? No, seems we have to pass into it first. Let's see. Woohoo! Oh, this will never cease to be fun. But okay, I just want to see if the second secret grade has already disappeared. Please, please, please. Ah, it did! So the moment you zipline across, you need to somehow figure out to come back here and pick up these goodies. How are you supposed to know that? I truly do not know. Anywho. It's, yeah, monkey slaughtering time, which doesn't make me happy. So one of them dropped a small medpack, which is just as well. And there should be another monkey somewhere with another small medpack, and we'll have to find it. See, the problem is they managed to escape. Which is pretty damn funny. Okay, we'll need to track it down. By the way, there are also rockets here, but the monkeys cannot pick up rockets, okay? Do not worry. So, there were two small medpacks. One over here, one over here. One we killed the monkey for and picked it up. The other is missing, presumably with the monkey. So, I'm gonna figure that out. But there's one more goodie I want to show you how to get, which is absolutely vicious. And it's the second aviary key. You only need this for a secret, okay? Oh god, this is evil. Ooh, the piranhas managed to go and swim there through solid surface. Whether this is intentional or a bug, I truly do not know, but it's absolutely horrifying. I heard a monkey. Let's follow it. There it is! And there's our second medpack. And this is what I talked about originally, guys, when we passed through here. Depending on how you play the level, you will find... There it is! Another one! How's that possible? Wait a second, there were only supposed to be two. Where on earth did they pick up the medpack from? Anyway, this is the hidey hole where you are gonna find all the medpacks, okay? So, again, depending on what you do, this is the place where you need to look it up for in case you're missing it, which is good knowledge to have. Now, let's go back and get our hands on the second secret. By the way, steps will always reset your sprinting animation, which is a bit annoying. Something that they seem to have removed from Tomb Raider 4 Remastered, I have noticed. I'm actually close to finishing my first run on PS4, practicing for my Let's Play series. Anywho, a large medpack and those sweet, delicious Desert Eagle clips. I'll use Desert Eagle once in this level for a particularly nasty encounter. There we go. I think that's it. That should have been all for goodies of this secret, right? Yep, indeed. Oh my god! No! We picked up 3. There was supposed to be a small medpack, guys. You know what that means? It seems that one of the monkeys picked up the small medpack from this secret, and that's the one it carried over the forest area that I talked about. And I was surprised, why is there an extra small medpack? And the monkey must have nicked it from the second secret, trying to bring it to its lair over there. My goodness, this is confusing. So, consider that medpack already part of the second secret, okay? And yeah, the zipline's always reset, so we can go for another one. Come on, this is way more fun than just taking the steps down. And in order for us to get out and progress through this monkey arena, we are gonna have to do something that, you know, I'm in the habit of doing, but something that more junior Tomb Raiders, it can caught you guys off guard. So, you would think you need to press the lever, climb up and run for the door, because it's on a strict timer. No, you need to hop back, jump forward and sprint to make it in time. This is how vicious the timing is. But it's a really useful trick, which, you know, is going to save you a lot of time. Often making a back step and jumping forward is so much faster than initiating a climbing animation. So I actually really like this a lot. In case that's not something you got into habit of doing, this is the kind of lever that will teach you that, which is awesome. Okay, and now guys, we are armed with 2 aviary keys, okay? We only need 1 to enter the aviary. The second one, for whatever reason, is actually used to access the third and final secret. Yeah, it's a bit strange like that. Okay, aviary, here we go. Now that should be a beautiful sweeping camera shot, but there are also vultures I would like to get rid of. Very much indeed. We can capture a vulture and a moon in one shot. How can I say no to that? And we hear the something spooky in the jungle theme. Of course we do. And unfortunately, the originals messed the lighting of the vulture. Anywho, no better weapon for this than MP5, but I don't want to have it out all the time in case there's a unique camera angle the level would like to show us. Probably not. Okay, that's a second one, and there should also be a third will trigger. Okay, no unique camera angle, but all 3 vultures are down. Now there's plethora of goodies here, including one tied to the Bloodhound achievement. So I'm just gonna show you everything. Oh, falling damage, that was a bit unnecessary. Oh well. So, what I appreciate is they added a bit of light here just to draw your attention to the box of shotgun flasks. That's really caring from Saber. I appreciate that a lot. And now I think we can do this without getting wet, because I have a strong suspicion there's piranhas in the river, no? Well, we see dead vultures, and okay, if there be piranhas, they would care about there being a carcass, I guess. But anyhow, I remember seeing a swarm of fish, so that makes me very nervous. Anywho, tucked away in here is a little hidey hole. This is not a secret, but it is secret enough to be part of the Bloodhound achievement. So there are going to be 3 goodies over here, but the ones needed for the achievement are the Desert Eagle clips in the middle over here. But who am I kidding? Once you're here, you're going to get all of them, of course. And there we go, 5 out of 6. That means we are good on our way to unlock the Bloodhound achievement in the final level, which is awesome. Now, how on earth do we get back up without falling into... Oh! Uh-oh. I have not saved. Let's climb up. Wait a second, let's stay here. Are there piranhas? If yes, they should find us, but nothing. Okay. So maybe I just made that up and it's a completely safe, non-piranha infested water. Wait. There you are, you little buggers. I knew you are here. Okay, but their pathfinding really sucks, which is good for us. My god, they're fast. Anywho, let's make it up here. I don't think Lara's gonna make that jump, so let's just walk across all again. By the way, I absolutely adore this 19th century architecture. It reminds me of Gustav Eiffel's work. And I'm not just talking about Eiffel Tower, I talk also about some of his projects in Budapest and that sort of thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this place so much. It really ends the core classic trilogy on a high note, given the environment. Oh, and by the way, guys, in case you're wondering, hold on a sec, Zelgadis, you could have absolute transition from shimmying in this ledge to this ladder over here. No, you cannot. And I cannot tell you why. Lara will just not do it. It doesn't work. Which is super duper annoying. I'm gonna try to jump next to the palm tree and not slide down. Wonderful. And this way we can grab the ladder quite nicely. Or you can also make a running jump from the platform we were standing on, but Lara would end up grabbing one rank underneath, therefore you would have to transition from, you know, hanging by your hands animation to the full ladder one, which would just take time. Now, I believe that is a solid tile. It's a bit easier to see in the OGs. And now, remember to always do grabbing jumps so Lara doesn't hit her head. Shotgun shells over here. Awesome. And now, oh gosh. You know what? I don't want to fall at this stage. I'm just gonna crawl. Wonderful. Like this. And now, the moment we end up on top of this obelisk-like structure, we get a sweeping camera shot, but you know what that means. A vulture, of course. There it is, the final one. So, Lara pretty much emptied the zoo's jungle, the area with the monkeys. She emptied the aviary, although, to be fair, it was just filled with vultures. Who cares about vultures, am I right? Is there any other part of zoo that Lara can destroy? Well, if you consider certain kinds of mutants as part of the exhibition, then yes, absolutely. Let's go for a final zipline. And you can already let go here to avoid taking damage. And there we go. This is a third Jeanne d'Arc statue. Next to it is attached a keyhole where you can now put the second aviary key. Again, I don't know why they made this secret key another aviary key. That seems a bit lazy. But anyway. And we have now opened the path to... Well, I call this the third statue, but in fact it's the second one we encountered, the third one we've seen. But we now have access to the second statue we've seen. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. I'm probably making this unnecessarily confusing. So, a couple of things, guys. In case you're not interested, just want to finish the level, you can absolutely get down here. And over here, you can make a jump to pick up a box of flares, okay? And then you can continue towards the level exit, but I'm not gonna show you what that ominous red light means yet. Instead, I'm here just for the box of flares, and now I'm gonna go all the way back and access the third secret, which is gonna have its own unique way into the level end, okay? But they're actually really well connected. But this flare box would be easy to omit. Okay, and this right here should take us, yep, to the final Jeanne d'Arc statue, which thanks to a lever, and we've opened up the trapdoor over here, and thanks to the second secret aviary key, we opened up the grate here. So, one allows us to access this place, and another allows us to access the third secret. There we go. And this is very similar to the level exit, no doubt. And we have just unlocked Codex of France, collect all secrets in France levels. Yeah, it should be level, honestly, because the second French level has no secrets. It's sort of the final showdown with you-know-who at this point. Okay, still haven't saved. And I'm pretty confident I can finish the level without saving. Where I'm a bit worried is getting poisoned, but later about that. Plenty of rockets, foreshadowing our need of them for the final boss fight. And you can do something cool here. Just let go in time and Lara will fall. It goes without saying, should you fall into this toxic goo, Lara will be set on fire, okay? Now, on the opposite wall, it's a bit difficult to see in the darkness, but there's a ladder texture, so we'll use this to get back. And this looks like we are underwater, but I guess it's supposed to simulate a heavy fog effect or something like that. It's a bit ephemeral. Anyway, you reach this spot, you can backflip to safety, okay? So just above the foggy substance. Okay, and you know what? I think it's time now. We have barely touched it. We have 80 shots. Like, seriously, this would carry us through the entire expansion. I'm gonna have a no mercy on these things. Oh my god, they're hideous. So, what you are looking at is a human merged with what looks like wolf? Are these werewolves we're fighting? You know what this reminds me of? In essence, of the monster chasing Lara in the Labyrinth level in Tomb Raider Chronicles. And I kind of can't wait to see its remastered treatment. And you know what? I'm gonna take a picture from another angle just to show you that they have a hole in their chest. And this is not a coincidence. Anywho, 2 shots of Desert Eagle and it's all over for these things. So these are, for all intents and purposes, the auras or the lizards, the nagas as I like to call them, from South Pacific summoned by Puna. But story-wise, these are another creations of someone playing too much with the Hand of Rathmo. Probably the hand itself was at some point put into their chest and it merged them with something. So yeah, whilst not being dolphin mutants, these guys are still vicious. Let's not get poisoned. They absolutely have a poisonous breath, which is why I didn't want to take any chances at this stage, you know, not saving. And I went all Desert Eagle on them. Either of these medpacks, by the way, is going to trigger them, hence the camera angle. And one thing I want to show you, just the added geometry in the remasters. Actually, I think it was here in the OGs, but it was so difficult to see. But yeah, this is really beautiful. And the cool thing is, this is not the final time we see this beautiful beach. Oh yeah, we're going to be coming back in the next level. Just to give you a sense of it being interconnected. Through this grate, you see a very interesting pandemonium and some very familiar looking floating fellas. Which is just as well. So... oh yeah, we just made it on the other side. How good is that? And yeah, guys, in case you missed them, the fish people are here. Floating above these, I guess, exhaust ventilation grates or something like that. But there's gonna be something much worse when you climb this tile. Ah! Yeah. Yeah, this still gets me, you know, even after all those years. This time I expected it, but that didn't make it any easier. This is indeed an invisible platform. You can kind of illuminate it with a flare. But this right here, again, kind of defies our explanation. Let me light up a flare. And Lara, if you're expecting a good conversation with this fella, I think you might be disappointed. Nevertheless, I'd like to take a shot of him and the floating guys. And guys, guess what you have to do? You know, this reminds me of either Randy or Rory back in the Templar Ruins, but we are supposed to enter the Hand of Rathmo into this guy's chest. So essentially end up partaking in these evil experiments, and that's gonna trivial the level end, and I assume what will be an elevator or a teleporter or something like that. I mean, this is where it gets really weird. If you have the action indicators on, this is where you'll see the symbol. So guys, I'm gonna make a level end save here. And let us see those final stats. So my friends, it's a madhouse. Was this the craziest level or what? Probably topped up only via Nightmare in Vegas. So we have found all 3 secrets, unlocking the Codex of France, we have gotten our hands on all 49 goodies, and we have landed all 22 kills. We didn't really save in middle of the level or used any medpacks, but to be fair, that's not exactly that difficult. There were also really no breakable objects to speak of. Now, normally, this is where I would wrap things up and say thanks to my amazing patrons, which I will still do, but before that, I want to show you how to unlock the Planet of the Raids. Alrighty guys, so here we are unlocking the Planet of the Raids achievement. Now, I'm just gonna give you the rundown of our plan so far, and you know, for this occasion I chose Lara's classic outfit, just because that's what we see in the loading screen, you know, so we can kind of compare which outfit we consider more suitable. So, to begin with, there are 4 principles you need to keep in mind. The achievement description says kill all the monkeys before they touch any items. And my goodness, if this was only true, this achievement would be a breeze. Unfortunately, after so much trial and error and digging online at what seems to be one of the most conflicting achievements, I found the following 4 principles, which if you keep to, you are guaranteed to unlock it. At least I did consequently on PS4, PS5 and GOG. The principles are as follows. First of all, do not pick up the shotgun shells next to the benches, or even better, do not even step on those tiles. This, as shown in our 100% playthrough of the level, will trigger the appearance of the monkeys in advance, making the achievement instantly impossible to do because they'll start picking up the small medpacks. Second point, use Desert Eagle to kill them as quickly as possible. Its range and damage is the perfect combination. It's much more better than the more unwieldy MP5. Third, and this could be very confusing, but do not pick up any of the items that the monkeys wanted to pick up. I have a theory that the achievement does sort of a scan of the level after you kill the final monkey to see if the items are still there where they were originally placed or not, and if not, it assumes that the monkeys pick them up, never even considers that Lara could have been the one to pick them up. So just to be safe, don't pick up any of the small medpacks or the 1 aviary key, which you don't actually need to kill all the monkeys and unlock the achievement. And finally, this is the point which took me the longest to figure out as I was wrecking my brains why the achievement's not unlocking over and over. When you do the zipline into the final monkey area, make sure to zipline to its very end, its very final tile. You let go of the zipline even 1 square earlier and you kill all the monkeys without them having touched any of the goodies, without you touching all the goodies, the achievement just would never pop for me. The ziplining would need to run its full course for the achievement to work. How on earth this is related to the achievement, I truly do not know. Okay, so that's the briefing done. Let us now do it, and let me show you in practice, okay? So like I said, you might find that maybe one of these design principles, like picking up the items or letting the zipline run its full course, will for whatever reason not be necessary for you to unlock the achievement. But whenever I would combine these consecutively, like I said, on 3 different platforms, the achievement would unlock, and I have high hopes that that's exactly what's gonna happen here. So, the good thing is, we don't really need to... Oh, sorry, took a bit of an unnecessary detour. We don't need to pick up any goodies, any items. We don't care about anything, just killing the monkeys as soon as possible. And like I said, this is a fairly quick affair. Without my, briefing at the beginning, it would honestly take, like, less than 4 minutes. So, we can go absolutely crazy. Remember, the key to get to the monkey arena is hidden in the bushes over here. And nothing else really matters. No other pickups. Alrighty then. See, I never really check if that key has a monkey symbol, like the aviary key has the bird symbol, but I honestly don't see it there. Anywho, let's keep going. Soon we are gonna reach the lovely pair of benches, which we are not to approach so as not to trigger the monkeys early. Let's see. There we go. So we can press this lever to continue, get through the tiger maze. But do not under any circumstance approach those tiles, okay? That will trigger the monkeys early and you'll be utterly screwed. Now, for us to really do this, remember, we'll need to access the first secret, as that has a little monkey that tries to steal a small medpack, and you do need to kill all of them, okay? So now, I'm gonna get the grenade launcher out. And get to the tiger cage. By the way, these tigers will survive 1 blast from Desert Eagle. Hence, I'm sort of switching to the grenade launcher. But on the monkeys, Desert Eagle is what you need to use. Like I said in my briefing. Okay, we don't even care about you, Miss Sophia Lee. And now, the monkey over here wanted to grab the small medpack over there. Make sure you do not pick it up either. Oops, wrong key. And let's keep going. This is stressful. But once we'll unlock it, it's gonna be so easy from here to scoop up the final achievements of the entire trilogy. Oh yeah, it's gonna be such an awesome feeling. Okay, out, back into the maze we go from the tiger cage. And now we are gonna enter the first monkey arena, so to speak. We don't need to trigger the tiger over here, we don't care about him at all, so let's not do that. And keeping to the left, that's how I remember we can complete this maze. Let's get the Desert Eagle out. Let's not slow ourselves down with climbing animation. There we go. And they were after the key, or potentially the small med bag over here. Again, don't pick either of them up and you should be golden. Now, be very careful, Tiger. Okay, awesome. Let's not take any unnecessary damage still. That would make me a bit nervous. But let's have the Desert Eagle ready for the next monkey. Which I honestly find to be the trickiest part of the challenge. And that's... remember, sprinting up the stairs doesn't really work in Tomb Raider 3 Remastered. So... Oh, shoot. No, 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 no. Oh, Lara, you need to be quick. Oh, thank God. Okay, see? The monkey definitely did not touch the small med bag, so we should be good in theory, but I don't trust this achievement. And now, guys, the point which really took me the longest time to figure out. When you touch this zipline, make sure to zipline to the very end. Do not let go of the action key. Wait until Lara does it, and then immediately go for your Desert Eagle. And what you'll want to focus on is that tile, because they're all after the small med bag. And there we go, Planet of the Raids. Don't let monkeys touch any of the items. My goodness, so this is the most crucial point. Always zipline to the very final square over here. And all the monkeys will be after this small med bag, so be ready. Do not waste time, you know, focusing on the right area. Focus on the left one. And that's it, guys. Yeah. Doing it like this, and minus my briefing, like I said, you can unlock it in roughly 4 minutes. So hopefully this will help you guys getting this incredibly tricky achievement. I honestly wish all these requirements would be mentioned in the achievement description, but I don't think they were planned to be required. I think it's just poorly coded. But using these 4 steps you see on the screen, you'll always get it. At least this proves I managed to get it 4 times in a row across 4 different platforms. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's absolute Madhouse of level. And I want to say thanks to my amazing patrons. Blind Goopel, Mick, Severin Drax, Enstickle, Katie Danger, Pooh the 2 and A Brian. Thank you so much for your loyal support and also for buying me a ticket to get into this insane coastal town zoo. Next, I would like to say thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Michael McConkey, Karavetu, Renegade Durney, Blanket Fox, Jonathan Jones and Dig the Bee. Thank you guys so much for your support of the channel and also for doing a taxidermist's job and piecing together those blown up white tigers. Hey, they're not gonna be moving around anymore, but at least the zoo will have something to show its visitors. I would also like to give special thanks to my brave veteran Winstons, Andrea Paviglianiti, Alexander and Richard Dearman. Thank you guys so much for your valiant support of the channel and also for hopping into your old Spitfire plane and flying Lara all the way from the underwater research facility to the coastal French town. This way she might just catch up with Sapphire Lee. And finally, I would like to say one very, very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your long and generous support of the channel, for all your kind comments, and also for today taking out your pick and your hammer and creating absolutely astonishing couple of ice statues representing Jeanne d'Arc. Okay, she's still not as handsome as you are when you're stuck in that freezer, but she looks great nevertheless. This was amazing. I still find it absolutely incredible that you guys are financially supporting me so that I can afford to spend more time with these videos, as I'm generating absolutely no ad revenue. All my videos are ad-free, or to the extent they can, of course, on this platform, just so you are not interrupted when watching guides. That's 99% of my videos. And I also don't want to forget to say thank you to my free Patreon members and to all of you for watching it and making it to the end of the video. Now I hope you enjoyed today's absolute Madhouse of a level. I know I did, and I feel great that we have nailed the kind of hardest and trickiest and buggiest achievement of this expansion. And guys, we have one more ahead of us before we completely wrap up the entire Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 Remastered collection. It's been just a little over a year, and the end is approaching. Okay, that sounds a bit more ominous. No, we're just gonna wrap up the collection before we move on to the next one. So I'll see you then. We'll see how things will wrap up with Miss Sapphire Lee, as she's been a very bad girl. And until then, I wish you all happy raiding.